This is Update News, weekly news and information program produced by Communication and Journalism Department students at the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire.
Good afternoon. Welcome to this Friday's edition of Update News. I'm Matt Troji.
And I'm Megan Lowry. Coming up, Wisconsin might pass a texting ban limiting drivers statewide.
And later, Update's Alex Oddie has details about the long-awaited renovations to the Hobbs Ice Arena.
But first, 16 people are dead and 23 are injured today after a suicide bombing in western Afghanistan. Officials say a powerful warlord barely escaped the assassination attempt. The attack came one day after Afghan President Hamid Karzai took the oath of office for his second term. Violence in Afghanistan has been escalating in response to current insurgency operations in the area. Karzai says he is determined to reconcile with the Taliban. Karzai also announced he has set a 5-year timetable for Afghanistan security forces to take the lead in defending the nation.
A gunman on the Pacific island of Saipan killed 4 people and wounded 6 this morning before taking his own life. Authorities say Lee Zong-ren first opened fire at a shooting range, killing 2 men in their early 20s as well as 2 children. The next shooting came when Ren opened fire on a group of South Korean tourists, injuring 5 of the tourists as well as a 4-year-old local girl. The gunman then drove his vehicle towards an area called Bonsai Cliff, where witnesses say he proceeded to take his own life. Of the people injured, 1 man remains in critical care while 2 others are in stable condition. Authorities also say the injured children have been treated and released from the Commonwealth Health Center.
The nation's military academies are trying to recruit more minority students, but officials say they're not getting much help from members of Congress from big city districts. Lawmakers in areas with a high minority population rank among the lowest in appointments to military academies for minority applicants. High school students applying must be nominated by a member of Congress or another high-ranking federal official. Academy records show congressional nominations account for around 75% of all students at the academies.
Following the Fort Hood shooting rampage earlier this month, the Pentagon announced Thursday it will review its procedures for identifying volatile soldiers within its ranks. A 45-day emergency investigation will look to examine multiple personnel, medical, and discharge policies within the Defense Department. The review will be led by former Pentagon officials Togo West and Vernon Clark, who plan to improve future response times by disaster teams. President Barack Obama has ordered a review of all intelligence related to the gunman, looking into whether warnings were properly acted upon within government agencies.
A 15-year-old is now charged with the homicide of 9-year-old Elizabeth Olton. Details about the case are still being withheld. Authorities say Alyssa Bustamante listed her hobbies on her YouTube profile as cutting and killing people. Bustamante has been in juvenile custody since October 23rd after leading authorities to Elizabeth's body. On Wednesday, Bustamante was certified as an adult charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. She is accused of strangling, stabbing, and cutting the throat of the victim.
A man charged with raping and killing a 5-year-old North Carolina girl is expected in court today, only a day after authorities revealed what they believed happened to her in her final days. Authorities announced Thursday that Shania Davis was sexually assaulted and asphyxiated before Mario McNeil dumped her body off of a rural road. According to police officials, McNeil is charged with first-degree murder and first-degree rape of a child. Davis's mother is also charged with trafficking her daughter and child abuse involving prostitution.
The cause of a Minnesota bus crash earlier this week is still being investigated. The owner of the bus company says the driver suffered an aneurysm while driving on a southern Minnesota interstate Wednesday. State officials say determining the cause of the crash could take weeks. The bus veered off the road near Austin, Minnesota, rolling into a nearby ditch. The crash killed 2 passengers and injured 20. The bus driver, 52-year-old Ed Erickson, is said to have suffered the aneurysm with no warning. Officials say his body shook before he slumped over the wheel. The tour bus was carrying passengers back home after a day trip to an Iowa casino. Wisconsin lawmakers are taking steps to make driving in the state a little bit safer by restricting what drivers can and cannot do behind the wheel. Update's Dustin Lukey has the story.
A bill working its way through the Wisconsin State Assembly could limit the use of cell phones while driving for everyone on Wisconsin roads. Initially, the bill sought only to restrict using cell phones behind the wheel for those under 18 years old or those holding a probationary license. However, Wisconsin State Representative Chris Dano says the updated version will expand this measure to all drivers.
Distracted driving is distracted driving, and when you're texting, you're not paying attention to the road. Quite simply, it's not safe for anybody. I mean, obviously younger drivers have less skills to deal with, but when you're busy reading or trying to text, you're not paying attention to where your eyes should be, which is on the road.
If passed and then signed into law by Governor Jim Doyle, this legislation would still permit hands-free and emergency communication while driving. However, the regular use of what the bill calls wireless communication devices, such as cellular phones, personal digital assistants, even two-way radios, would only be permitted for licensed commercial operators and emergency workers. And the penalty for violating this measure could run anywhere from $20 to $400. While this measure could reduce the number of cell phone-related accidents, Eau Claire City Police Chief Jerry Matisic says enforcement could still prove difficult.
How would I know as a police officer whether they're dialing a number and now going to be talking, whether they're punching in and texting? We aren't in a position to know all the details, and so it too isn't a real easy law to enforce.
And although Dano says any further legislation restricting the use of cell phones while driving is possible, as of now, it's not probable.
We'll have to see how this one works and how it applies, and if it seems to be effective, I think then there may be a feeling there isn't any need for further restrictions on cell phone use while people are driving, or they may feel that things need to become more stringent because people are still doing unsafe things while they're operating a vehicle.
For Update News, I'm Dustin Lukey.
The Milwaukee-based Harley-Davidson motorcycle could become the official Wisconsin motorcycle under a bill proposed in the legislature. Milwaukee's Democratic Representative Leon Young says the long and storied history of Harley-Davidson in Wisconsin makes it worthy of being the official state motorcycle. The company's founders William S. Harley and Arthur Davidson built their first motorcycle in 1903 in Milwaukee, where the company has been based ever since.
Coming up after the break, Update News has details about the Wisconsin Youth Success Program.
And later we'll give you a preview of this weekend's weather forecast.
Stick with us, you're watching Update News.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss.
Welcome home, man.
Oprah Winfrey will announce today that after 25 years on the air, her powerhouse daytime television show will end its run in 2011. Once a local Chicago morning program, the production evolved into one of television's top-rated talk shows for more than 2 decades. The foundation of Oprah's multi-billion-dollar media empire brings in an estimated 42 million viewers a week in the U.S. alone. Oprah is expected to start up a new talk show on the Oprah Winfrey Network. The short joint venture with Discovery Communications is expected to debut in 2011.
With winter fastly approaching, it will soon be time to lace up the skates and head out for a few laps around the rink, or perhaps a pickup hockey game. The renovation at Hobbs Ice Arena here in Eau Claire will make these favorite winter pastimes a little more accessible. Updates Alex Oddie has more.
The City of Eau Claire, along with the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire and several other local organizations, is giving the Hobbs Ice Arena a facelift to better accommodate growing demand for ice rinks in the Eau Claire area. The $6.2 million project is designed to give the 35-year-old structure more space and better facilities for skaters, hockey players, and fans alike. Included in the renovation is the addition of a third enclosed rink adjacent to the existing Averick rink and the construction of offices for the university's hockey programs and the city's Parks and Recreation Department. Renovation of the O'Brien rink was the largest piece of the project. The biggest improvement will be renovating the Blue Gold men's and women's locker rooms, which previously had changing rooms upstairs and showers downstairs. A balcony was added along the south wall above the team benches to increase the seating capacity of the arena. A new 4-sided scoreboard was also installed to allow fans on all sides of the arena to keep track of the action. The exterior of the building is being refaced, and the city has increased the number of parking spots to accommodate the extra traffic the renovated facility will attract. During the renovation, space has been at a premium in the complex. The Eau Claire Synchronized Skating Club has been forced to use temporary changing rooms set up in the Averick rink to get ready for practice, and they still do not have sufficient space for all their equipment. Synchronized Skating Club captains Brianna Butera and Tracy Rancour say that the renovations are nice, but the adjustments to their schedule have made practices a little more difficult.
It was difficult at first because we've only been skating on one rink, where normally the building has 2 facilities, so that was difficult.
We also don't have any locker rooms, or we didn't when we first came, and there was no bathrooms for us to use.
Synchronized Skating Club coach Mary Summers says that the club had a tough time participating for another reason. There just was not enough ice time available for every group that wanted to use the facility.
The figure skating club lost ice time, a lot of ice time because of it, and we drove to Chippewa to skate in Chippewa for 2 months.
Most of the renovation work is drawing to a close, but there is still some work yet to be completed. The final touches need to be put on the new enclosed rink, and more finishing work must be done in the lobby and offices. The scheduled completion date for the project was December 1st of this year, but the final touches may not occur until early next year. Until then, visitors to Hobbs will just have to be patient.
We'll be glad when it's done.
For Update News, with photographer Alyssa Ogletree, I'm Alex Oddie.
If you'd like to check out the renovations or just want to go for a quick skate, you can call the Hobbs Ice Arena main desk at 715-839-5040 for ice availability and open skate times.
After almost 3 decades, the Chippewa Valley is in danger of losing its free summer camp for kids. The Wisconsin's Youth Success Program needs to come up with $30,000 by February 15th in order to run the program this summer. For the past 29 years, kids in the Chippewa Valley have taken advantage of a free summer program offered on the UW-Eau Claire's campus. Over the years, WYSP has seen over 11,000 kids come through the camp. Program Director Lisa Schutz says WYSP sees more than 400 kids every summer. The kids ages 10 to 16 stay active on the basketball courts, baseball fields, and tennis courts while learning leadership skills and alcohol and drug prevention.
It's a safe environment. They're learning leadership skills out on the ropes course. They're learning team building. I mean, all the essentials, that are great to have as you're growing as a young adult.
Schutz says in the current economic state, the program is even more important to the community for those parents unable to afford summer camp.
So that's the great part about our program, is because we're able to reach kids and families that really need to be here.
But with the loss of government funding 3 years ago, the program has had to use up all its savings and is in need of some quick cash. Schutz says if the program ends, the community will lose a great resource. Stephen Bader, a former WYSP participant and current camp counselor, says he's learned a lot from the camp.
It really developed my skills as an athlete and as a person in general.
He says that as a camp counselor, it's great to see other kids benefiting from the program.
I love just working with the kids, watching them develop as they come to the camp and really break their barriers.
WYSP has several fundraisers already planned, but most of them fall after the February deadline. If you want to contribute or to learn more about the program, you can contact Lisa Schutz through the WYSP website at the web address below.
Will the coming weekend bring good conditions for outdoor activities? Weather is up next after the break.
And later, Updates Michelle Clemens brings you the latest details on the new location of the local Eau Claire Food Bank.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Update News.
A bright future starts with a healthy lifestyle. Good nutrition and physical activity are fuel for your child's mind and body.
Attaboy, Pinot.
And the food pyramid will help you find the right balance. Just remember, every color, every day.
Nothing can stop me now.
Eat right.
Here's an apple.
Be active.
Come on, I'll race you home.
Make it balanced.
This calls for a celebration.
A healthy lifestyle can lead to great things for your child. Visit mypyramid.gov to learn more.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Jose and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Excuse me. Excuse me, are you Santa Claus? I heard you might be him. If you are him, here's my list.
Help the Marines make Christmas possible for less fortunate children. Donate a new toy to Toys for Tots.
Here's Santa Claus.
That's not where we are.
Just as we get used to the idea of winter temperatures settling in, warmer weather is promised for the weekend.
Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 30 degrees. Tomorrow will be a beautiful fall day with the sun and a high of 54 degrees. Saturday night promises clear skies and a low around 40. Sunday, expect a few showers with a high of 52 degrees. For nearly 3 decades, the Feed My People Food Bank has helped meet the needs of the hungry right here in Eau Claire.
Update News reporter Michelle Clemens is with us to introduce the new location for the organization.
The Eau Claire community and volunteers and staff of the Feed My People Food Bank are to thank for their successful move. The grand opening and ribbon cutting for the new location will take place on December 9th. Feed My People says this move will only help them better serve the community. The Feed My People Food Bank of Eau Claire is enjoying the benefits of a recent move and taking pride in ownership of a new building for the first time. Working to eliminate hunger in West Central Wisconsin for over 27 years, Feed My People has recently seen an increase in both supply and demand. The Assistant Director for Feed My People, Michelle Dingwall, says they found more space was needed.
We moved to our new location, which is 2610 Alpine Road. We moved here just last week, and so we're really excited. The space is about 3 times the size of where we were, and the freezer and cooler are 8 times what we used to have. So we're really excited at the opportunity to get more donations from local manufacturers and distributors, and then also to just turn around and distribute more food to the places that help people in need.
Feed My People currently serves 14 Wisconsin counties and is the main donation and distribution center that serves 60 local food pantries, schools, and shelters. The new location gives the organization a better opportunity to serve the community more efficiently. The building allows for more than double the amount of food storage and workspace and will help the food bank share up to 30% more fruits and vegetables and reduce their energy usage by 25% per cubic foot of refrigerated and freezer space. To pay for their new space, the food bank relied heavily on the community, and they have seen a great response.
We had a big campaign that was about $325 million, or $1,325,000. To date, we've raised about 94% of that, and so we're. It's just been donations from the community, both the business and individual side of things, and so we're just thrilled that the community is supporting us and our efforts.
If you are looking for a way to give this holiday season, Feed My People says that for every $1 that is donated, the food bank is able to share with the community over 7 pounds of food worth up to $10. For more information about the Feed My People organization, you can visit the link below at fmpfoodbank.org.
Up next in sports, Alex Audie has previews of the Badger and Packer games this weekend.
And the Blue Gold's men's and women's hockey teams hit the ice this weekend, while the men's basketball team heads south for a 2-day tournament. You're watching Update News.
Good health, an annual checkup is just what the doctor ordered. So why should your financial health be any different? Say ah. Remember to examine your savings plan.
By yourself? By myself.
Keeping your finger on the pulse of a healthy financial future. And it all starts with your Social Security statement, which you automatically receive each year before your birthday. Staying financially fit is not only smart,
It can be done.
it's easy.
It can be done.
And a lot less painful than you think. Choose to save.
This kind of thing must be done.
Should I be planning better for retirement?
Isn't it about time to renew my driver's license?
If I go back to school, can I get a student loan? Will Medicare cover tattoo removal? Can Social Security cover...
Relax, Tony. Go to firstgov.gov. They've got all the answers.
The answers to all your government questions are always right there.
Can we get some pancakes?
Just log on or email firstgov.gov.
Put off dealing with diabetes, and you might not have a leg to stand on. You might not have to face it. Eventually, you might not have to bother. Diabetes doesn't have to take apart your life, not if you eat healthy, exercise, and take your medicine to control your blood sugar.
I'm controlling my diabetes. It's making a huge difference.
Control your diabetes for life. Call 1-800-860-8747.
Half of young Americans can't locate economic powers like Japan and India. 20% can't even find the Pacific Ocean. Without geography, our children aren't ready for the world. Understanding connections between people and places is critical. So we created mywonderfulworld.org. Go there now for your free action kit. Help kids understand their world today so they can succeed in it tomorrow.
Coming off a big victory against the Dallas Cowboys last week, the 5-4 Packers look to build on their momentum against the visiting San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco has not won at Lambeau Field since 1990. The Niners snapped a 4-game losing streak by beating the Chicago Bears last week with the help of 5 Jay Cutler interceptions to improve to 4-5 on the season. The Packers' suddenly stout defense will be tested by San Francisco's Frank Gore and Vernon Davis, who have developed into dangerous weapons for quarterback Alex Smith to use at his disposal. The Packers' main goal again this week will be to keep quarterback Aaron Rodgers upright. The offensive line surrendered 4 more sacks last week, and maybe without veteran right tackle Mark Tauscher again this week. Kickoff is scheduled for noon on Sunday. The Wisconsin Badgers take their show on the road this week as they travel to Illinois to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. With a Badger win and a loss by conference leader Ohio State, the Badgers could still earn a share of the conference title for the first time since 1999. The Badgers move up to number 16 in the BCS national polls this week, following a rout of the rival Michigan Wolverines last Saturday. The Badgers rolled up 45 points against the Wolverines, picking up their 3rd straight win, thanks to career days by Wisconsin quarterback Scott Tolzien and wide receiver Nick Toon. Northwestern is coming off a win against an Illinois team that has struggled to a 2-6 record in the Big Ten this year. Kickoff is slated for 2:30 Central Time on the Big Ten Network. The baseball season may have officially ended a few weeks ago, but baseball's second season officially began at midnight Eastern Time last night. The unrestricted free agency period has begun. Players not under contract for the 2010 season now have the opportunity to negotiate contracts with other teams. For tenured veterans or up-and-coming stars, this is a chance to cash in for a big payday and for teams to strengthen their rosters with established players. Both the Milwaukee Brewers and the Minnesota Twins are looking for help in their starting rotation, but with a fairly thin group of arms on the market, making a big splash may not be possible for some of these small payroll teams. The Eau Claire men's basketball team heads south this weekend to participate in the Wartburg tournament in Waverly, Iowa. The Blue Golds tip off the 2-day tournament tonight against Concordia University at 6 p.m. The men opened their season with a big win over St. Scholastica College last weekend. Amadou Fofana led the Blue Golds with 14 points, and Jeff Probst chipped in 13 points and 8 boards as Eau Claire won 87-47. The Blue Golds open up conference play December 2nd on the road against the Titans of UW-Oshkosh. That's all for Sports this Friday. Coming up after the break, Matt and Megan will be back to wrap things up. Don't change the channel. You're watching Update News.
Some things that do not go together. Wrinkles and crop tops, haute couture and flip-flops, osteoporosis and 4-inch heels. With some moderate exercise and a few smoothies, you can do more to keep your bones beautiful and strong. So start lifting. Bench press and nominee for Best Actor. Get plenty of calcium and vitamin D. Drink a few lattes, decaf of course, because you can't make it to the height of fashion without a healthy body to carry you there. Beauty is bone deep. Don't tell my plastic surgeon.
If the community calls on you, the National Guard's there. We put ourselves right into the heart of the storm.
Hurricanes,
terrorism,
search and rescue. Wherever we're needed, we're there. That's what the National Guard is all about.
I use the skills that I learned in the Guard every day.
The National Guard is paying for my college and books.
Everything is well covered.
We became a team at Ground Zero.
Bosnia, Afghanistan,
Iraq.
This is your brother, this is your sister. You gotta look out for each other.
I would do it again.
And I would do the mission.
That's my duty. That's my responsibility.
I'm proud to be in the National Guard.
Visit
1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
With great privilege comes great responsibility. My generation felt that as younger people, and it's time for us to feel that again.
Growing up economically challenged, I understand what it means to be destitute. I understand how it feels to be hungry. You help someone else, it comes around at a time when you might need help.
I like what I do. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. This is a great country. If people were to go ahead and step up to the plate by volunteering or doing something for their fellow man, this country will be greater than it ever was.
Today, our efforts are needed more than ever.
Because as a generation, we do have work to do.
Join thousands by finding which opportunity is best for you.
Lead, inspire, change the world. Again. Call 1-800-424-8867 today or visit www.getinvolved.gov.
That's all for Update News this Friday afternoon. I'm Matt Troji.
And I'm Megan Lowry. Join us again next week for more news,
weather,
and sports.
Have a great weekend.
You have been watching Update News, a weekly news and information production of Communication and Journalism Department students at the University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire.